to list a lot of things. So list them. List when you talk about progress. Let's list all the factors that you associate to this. But also, we want you to try to rank them, which is the most important, which is the least important. So basically, that's something that we want to do in all the groups. And then we're gonna rebalance the groups because we have other participants. But basically, we want the group 1, and we're gonna have let's see, we're gonna have 4 groups. So group 1 and 2 is going to discuss on which of the factors should be guaranteed to everyone in each of your country. So you're gonna discuss, let's say, if that's education, so at what level, and discussing on that for everyone, and that means everyone in your country. So and why? Why is this? Why do you see it in that way? The group number 2 is going to discuss on the number 3 is going to discuss on what are your dreams, what are some of the challenges you face in pursuit of your dreams. We want to be more personal in that, in those references. We want to know basically the obstacles that you have as being in the age that you are. And then the last group, the number 4, is going to discuss on how do you intend to achieve your dreams. What do you need in order to achieve them? Sometimes it's something that is in our hands. Sometimes you need some help. So we want you to discuss on if you need help, from who, and what type of help do you need. So basically that's what we are discussing back in the countries. We're doing this in focus groups. We can do that in this day. We can do that. We're going to discuss in smaller groups, trying to go through this, and let's see, after you've been discussing this, we're going to have, let's say, 20 minutes to share the results that you have. That's basically what we're going to do. So let's rebalance.
Yeah, I think I would really rather if you select the group you want to be in, but unfortunately, or if you think that you should select, then tell me quickly.
Select, you select.
Should I select for you?
No, we will select.
You want to select? Okay. So let's go.
So just to remind you, all groups.
Yeah, we have this, but we're going to. Yeah. So.
I don't know what he means. I don't know what you mean. I'm confused.
Okay. Let me quickly say this in 2 minutes. All of the groups are going to. You see the top there. You say all groups.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, fine. Then you can select to do. We have group 1 and 2, but yeah.
You should say which is group, like group
1,
1,
just assignment 2. We don't have a lot of time.
Okay, would you like to select which group would you like to be in?
last, the 5 or 6.
Okay, so can you go? Can you take down the question?
Sure.
So 5 or 6, let's go quickly.
Yeah.
So 5 and 6, you want to talk about how do you intend to achieve your dreams? What do you need in order to achieve them? So we have that group there. Jim, can you go down that?
That's here. Okay.
So that's okay. So group 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Group 1 and 2. Group 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
And that's it. Okay. Right. So
We drove on the freeway, and there's vast expanses either side of it with nothing. Just scrub. You put solar panels there, you create a solar field, you can create free energy, and you can sell that energy. You can put it on batteries, you can sell it, you can give people free. There's no reason why the Caribbean couldn't become a green superpower. An environment where you've got the sun, you have got water, you're not piping it to the right place yet.
Like a lack of innovation, perhaps, or another spirit, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yes, that's a good way. One thing is that we like to follow the model of other countries. We like to follow, as I said, we don't
Is it the choice though, or is it that America is?
Things can possible as what is
If you look at it in terms of Government came in. I said we want
So in the thing, the different factors that you think are associated with progress.
Well, he just
If we are getting babies on health, we are progressing a lot. So health.
Any others?
So the next verse is 5 and 6. How do you intend to achieve your dreams? How do you intend to achieve your dreams?
I don't know. I try to figure it out.
Sometimes failure can be good sometimes because failure can bring collaboration. That when you set goals and then you are just very hard.
What is your dream though? Your dream?
Even though you achieve them completely, but the sense of collaboration that your work, your teamwork build, so that gives you satisfaction. So we have
exactly, and look at your distance and his distance. Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah.
That's the geographical. You have to go to America.
Yeah.
that's
I don't know why they control our airways.
They control your money.
They control money because it's cheaper for us to go through them, but if we want to go through
Is this our manifesto?
No, but I think, but I think
Record that? It's being recorded, sir.
I think we've tried that before, I believe, once, and the excuse that was given was the expensive fuel cost. Now I'm thinking, I suppose ridiculous enough. So, but I think it's a lot of bureaucracy because plus, like for example, going back to the environmental issue, and saying, to clear a field, for development to take place, you need to clear a field and put it up. It's kind of who wants to. Who defines development? Who can afford to define development? Who can afford to have their voices heard?
That is it. Golden that's the issue.
And it was on tape as well.
What's the issue?
Remember, I'll tell you, I couldn't come up with it.
I see how this is.
4. And so that is
the persons with the money have to vote.
Everywhere else.
Just breeze it through and be great.
It's a Caribbean issue.
a Caribbean issue.
I would put better governance.
governance and the management as well.
I think economics would fall under that. Better governance.
Governance. Yes, it would fall under it because when you're managing the economy, because of the actual.
All of that.
That's exactly. I'm an economist, so that's exactly not true. That's why I'm so passionate about this discussion, because we always were thinking progress. We need economic progress, and it's to solve all our social issues. No, it's not. It's just, to be honest, fucked countries one after another, and that's not progress.
Daniel, aren't we looking at the factors that would influence progress?
Yeah, but see, it's the UNDP. I'm just saying it why I don't want to do it. It's because it's exactly one of those institutions following this paradigms all the time. If they ask me now a question, what is progress for me, I don't give the stereotype standard answer. I don't do it. We can do it as a group, but I don't do it because exactly that is what they do wrong since years. And that's wrong. It is wrong. It's not right. And they do another survey, and it's another survey asking the same questions again.
So in essence, to me, what you're saying is that change.
I would tell them progress is change. Yeah, progress is a framework. Progress of your activities. And all those economics and education fall into that and will reside out of it. But first of all, it's something totally different.
Would you say it's mental change or spiritual change?
Also one part. It's also
Mental and spiritual change.
Yeah, we have to change our ideologies because.
But progress would not
would be change for the better.
And the better can mean all the different things for each and every.
Spiritual and mental change of people.
Also, yeah, also.
Yeah, it's a bit the point still doubling.
I think you just raised a good point a while ago.
Yeah, I want to hear. So, for example, they use the environment to be the measuring stick for what the resources will be. So, for example, it's a bank, you know that the resources will be money. And if you're going to use a school, then resources can be books, other infrastructures and things. So you need the environment to be
one independent on the other.
Yes.
For you to have
for him, he's saying that
environment. So basically, you should be ranking both of them as number 2, and then the other rank after that would be number 4.
Or you want or if you want to combine both that factor. I think the thing that you guys have come up with here is that resources can exist in and of themselves. But to be right, they have to be connected to something to you in order for you to make use of them, which is the environment, to create an enabling environment. So yes, somebody can be rich, like for example in Jamaica. You have lots of rich people, so the country is rated as a higher income country. But does that really connect to the vast majority of people? No, so those resources actually kind of
I think coming from a much smaller island and comparing what Jamaicans have and what we have back home, I would see that there are a lot of resources here that just go to waste. Ignored.
That is true. Can't deny that one.
So what you guys going to do here? Research? Yes.
I think we have to do a type for that. They're so interconnected.
That's
right. Yeah, whatever it is, it's
2 and 2.
Right, because I was supposed to be finishing my master's by now. I'm just in year 1 instead of finishing already. So at one point I was saying, why bother? It doesn't make any sense. And it goes back to just things happening, and I just I think it's too much, and I just want to say, okay, then let's just give in and just go and work and just finish and that's it. Because things will happen, right? Not necessarily in a time.
I think families first.
Not necessarily because you don't have any family, so sometimes it's you alone.
No, well, that's right. That is in the event of having family, because we're just looking out.
Yeah, but if you, but remember, and when people say it like that, I always go back to the point where they say when you're traveling in an airplane, you should put on your mask first and then you do your Chinese. So in terms of, you always have to take care of you first. So to take care of the family, you have to take care of you first. So I guess that's when it helps me come from an individual perspective, not overriding the fact that family.
I would support confidence. So it's about the individual first.
The individual first, then the family.
Then the other support and whatever else can come along.
Alright, so support second, family then third? What would be fourth?
Access, but not support. You have support.
Exactly.
The abundance of oil in Trinidad, the abundance of oil in Trinidad is used to reduce the high oil stop seeing ourselves as small entities and see ourselves as Caribbean, because they think every year is a dream that there are many countries go around each other use each other's resources. They think that we live in the Caribbean. Stop thinking that their resources are cheaper than their resources in Trinidad.
So you're saying that if we put together, put our resources together.
Some countries like Cayman, their laws and we had said change cognitive mindset of people, which would have been number 1. Because we would have needed to change our thinking. And if we change the thinking, then we'll evolve in our ways and do things differently. No? Wasn't that what we agreed? And then number two, then we would focus on the people, where we would now stand. We would not be like the old society, but in a new sense, we're thinking beyond. And then three, we would have said humanity. We know not thinking just about ourselves, we're thinking beyond self and thinking about other people. And that's how then we think about the environment, how we need to take care of our environment, because that is what we're
Yeah, we basically listed several factors to what we think factors that are associated with progress. So we have the enabling environment, social, economic, and political and the as well, cultural, leadership and good governance, collaboration and communication, constant monitoring and evaluation, including self-evaluation, and passion, drive, and willpower. And now we rank those in order of order already. Now we're answering the question, which one of those factors need to be guaranteed to everyone in your country and why? So we had enabling environment. Well, I suppose to be why there. Why? You were mentioning that giving everyone an equal chance, an equal opportunity.
Environment.
Yeah. Equitable opportunity. Not necessarily when you're in Jamaica, so I can
I think, yeah, or you can speak that and then
we have 5 minutes to answer both
So in England, we had what I call Jafaiku. I've met African boys, really African, got African name, and they'll tell me that these are but you're from Ghanaian, and they go, what they think Jamaica
It's sad that they give Jamaicans such a bad I can't even agree with that. I'm still like how violent can you continue?
No, like,
we have a better PR agency.
We need a better PR.
Yeah, no.
Caribbean needs better PR.
Try to explain to somebody you know this
Really? Try to explain to them that I don't
I could speak, but I don't know. I can do it.
I don't know. But that's why I was, because I wouldn't say it like that.
Even Jamaicans say
So can we have the presenter from Group 1 coming forward, please?
Please, go.
No.
Good afternoon. To be completely honest, I'm standing now representing our group, but I cannot represent it totally because we weren't sure, we had struggles to define what...
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. My name is Daniel Fries, I'm from Vienna, and yes. Actually, we had struggles defining what is progress, so we have different opinions in it, and this goes down through the whole list when we talk about factors, when you talk about what is progress, where should a society, in which direction does society go. And so we just talked about, and we tried to narrow it a little bit down, and we said, first of all, progress shouldn't be used as a term that was used in development work over the last decades. Progress is something about the people, and progress means different things to each and everybody of us. And that it's the same for each and every country. So progress means different things. And meaning that progress is for the people, it has to uplift people, it has to give people opportunities to move forward. We don't talk about in which direction, but they have to move forward. It can't be about stagnation, being at the same point, or changing for the worse. It has to be changed for the better, and that's about the people. And out of this framework of change, out of this foundation of change, and I think that's what we saw, we agreed that this is exactly what government should provide, what the international institutions have to provide, a proper framework to take action for the people. And the outcome will then be all those things we always talk about. There will be economic improvement, there will be environmental and sustainability, there will be a better education or a better educated society. So when we are asked to list any factors which are associated to progress or to individual progress, we put upliftment and people on top. And that's our priority, the foundation for people to act, to change. And which of the factors should be guaranteed? It should be guaranteed to everybody. To each and everybody of us, we should have the platform, the foundation, and the opportunities. And as soon as we have that, we will move forward and we will develop a society. And every society will develop. In my presentation I was talking about learning communities. It starts as one person who got exposed, and then it goes to the community, and the community learns. And all of a sudden it becomes a self-development. And this is what progress means, at least in my opinion.
Okay, thanks, Daniel. Okay, group 2 is Nick, isn't it?
Yep. Not short for Nicholas, just Nick. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Our group defined, it's just the first question maybe, right?
First and then the
other one, okay. Some of the definitions we have of progress are positive change, growth, the meeting of objectives and outcomes. We also describe progress as a journey of bettering oneself and achieving self-actualization, consistent re-evaluation and improving one's vision of the future, and achieving set goals and objectives. The factors we associated with progress, we have, do I have to rank these in order or just call them out?
If you did?
Yeah, we ranked them, okay. Number 1 was a passion and a drive and having the willpower to progress. We had a little bit of a debate over number 2, so we basically put 2 of them together, which was the enabling environment, social, economic, cultural, and having the finances, capital, and other important resources. Number 3 was leadership and good governance. And the final one was constant monitoring and evaluation. In addition to that, self-evaluation and reflective practice. And which of these factors do we believe should be guaranteed to everyone in our countries and why? We had 2. The enabling environment, which was the social, economic, cultural, because it would provide equitable opportunities for everyone. And the other one was good governance and leadership, because having progress should be a fundamental right of everyone, and we have to have good governance to create that enabling environment to make sure that everyone can progress. So that's our contribution.
All right, I represent group 3. There we go. I don't have my page G. So my name is Flora, I'm from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I represent group 3, and our dream is expressed in a dream for the Caribbean. So I'm trying to portray everything that we've been saying in the last 20 minutes. In sum, our dream for the Caribbean is regional integration, a spirit of collaboration, and a united Caribbean. And we forgot to answer the progress question, but we think that progress is solving all the challenges that I'm going to mention now. So we have 9, not necessarily in order of priority, but we'll be able to do that afterwards perhaps. First one is there are laws that hinder the integration of the Caribbean as one united Caribbean. 2 is there are geographical and travel issues, and it was mentioned that it's crazy that you have to travel through the US sometimes to get back into the Caribbean or different islands within the Caribbean. 3rd is that there's a lack of belief in local knowledge and skills, and an unnecessary dependence on others, and a value for things from outside of the Caribbean. 4th, there's a lack of value for the environment. 5th, there's a lack of innovative spirit in young people. 6, people with the money have the voice. 7, a lack of long-term planning, and there's a short-term mindset within the Caribbean people apparently. 7th, a lack of proactiveness, and 8th, a lack of support for local entrepreneurs. So we came up with 3 concrete plans how to solve these. One of them is reggae music should be owned by Caribbean and not Sony. The second is there should be a ferry company within Caribbean islands. And third is the Caribbean should have a better PR agency.
Group number 4, right here. Sorry.
Okay, Tabari Smith from the Bahamas. I'm representing Group 4. Our discussion on progress, we had a lot to say in our group. So I'm just going to read out some of our notes. Our discussion on progress, we define progress as being moving forward and accomplishing those goals, being on target with what was set in terms of those goals, the profound transformation in the structure of a country, the advancement and the protection of human rights, just the basic rights and the dignity of what it is to be human in a country, financial security and stability, respect in terms of respect for the laws, respect for the country, respect for the journey that you take as a nation and as a people. And we also said that failure is a part of progress, and more so the ability of learning from those failures and those mistakes. The list and rights of factors, we have 8 factors. I'll name them more quickly in our order of priority. Leadership is first, transparency is second, then accountability, third, 4th is failure, 5th is equality, 6 is time, 7 is review and evaluation, and then 8 is development. In terms of our dreams, what are your dreams and what are some of the challenges you face in pursuit of those dreams? So everybody gave their individual dream and the individual challenge related to those dreams. The first is just to see a reduction in crime and violence, as it affects us at home, as a country, or right in our own neighborhood. And the challenge we say to that is that drug money is easy money. Poor environments, lack of parenting, and just being labeled by society sometimes causes young people to go down the wrong path. Dreams, the next one is to have a chance, well, we all know who this one is from, to have a chance to represent Haiti on the political scene. His challenge to that is gerontocracy, which is, old people in power and no space for young people to participate. Third is to have the financial resources to be able to rescue and empower our young people. Lack of funding for civic humanitarian work, especially allowing young people to have the discretion in how those monies are spent. Next is to see my Caribbean, and I'm reading it as personal from the person whose position it was, to see my Caribbean more united, to let us work as one team and to value each other. The challenge there is this pride between nations and this sense of not needing to depend on each other. And then the last one, dream, is to really see a strong CSME in the Caribbean, being able to stop our food shortages, empower ourselves, build factories, strengthen our economies, etc., so that we see ourselves not as small states, but to see ourselves as a big CARICOM And the challenge is we simply just talk the talk in front of the cameras. Thank you.
And group 5 and 6. 5 and 6.
Oh, yeah.
It's just one.
Yeah, just one.
Afternoon, everyone. Nicola Hendrickson, Trinidad and Tobago. So we were asked what is progress, and I kind of listed what everybody said in the group. Some level of comfortability and accessibility that is fluid depending on whose definition we use. Different persons would have different concepts. Also, it could be defined by how badly we are doing and betterment in the way in which we live our lives. We came up with about 9 different groupings, and I'll call them in a matter of preference. Health and confidence was 1. Support was 2nd. Family 3rd. Accessibility 4th. Where they would get the knowledge from was 5th. Knowledge was 6th. Opportunity 7th. 8 was multi-sectoral partnership. And 8 would be responsibility and ownership. How do you intend to achieve your dreams? It was interesting in terms of the responses to this one. Improvement of resources. One person said that they don't dream. To keep dreaming and believing. And the last one, which I found a little gem, was dreaming is believing. And 3rd is, what do we need in order to achieve them? Believe that the dream can be achieved personally. Believe and do. Work at it. Proactiveness. A roadmap or a plan. Physical reminders that are visible. And support, even if external individuals don't see your dream or dream the way you do. That's it. Thank you.
Anyone else wants to share something else? Something that...
Any group member.
Yeah, any group member. Before we...
I just have one question. Against what backdrop? Because, I mean, to me it was kind of like progress and what? How? You know, so what is the backdrop that you all were coming with? Because we kind of got, it was kind of like, as far as I'm concerned, a drop of oil and water? The question.
Oil and water?
Oil and water.
Yeah, but they don't mix, right?
No.
Yeah, I think coming from the perspective of the UNDP approach has been one of, development is about people, and about enlarging your capabilities, your options, your ability to achieve your God-given potentials, right? And we want to see, how people relate achieving those dreams and potentials and, and access to opportunities. How do they see that in terms of progress, right? And one of the things that you said that I really found very important is that it's really coming from, right? In terms of how you see progress, right? Someone who's had a really bad year may have some things that the next year and they see that progress, right? While someone who is, better than them but still don't see. So we're trying to get that type of vision from you, and to try to relate that to what we see in more types of quantitative data crunching types of things, right? And how we can marry those two different perspectives to tell a better story, right? In terms of what is progress and what we need to progress, right? What are some of the obstacles that people confront in their daily lives? How do they cope with those? So that's the type of backdrop that we're coming from. Yeah.
Just a quick observation from our group in terms of dreams. Something that really stood out to me was at the beginning of the presentation, you guys had said, try and make it personal. We want to hear personally from you. And what stood out to me was even in their personal contributions were still inclusive of my Caribbean, my community, my nation. So it was personal, but it really was beneficial to others than just yourselves. And that stood out.
I love that. Absolutely. If someone else had
I wanted to try to understand what was the reason behind doing it in a group exercise as opposed to an individual exercise?
Because of time and numbers. And we thought that by doing it in a group, everyone would be able to express their views. And we wanted to get a real, as much participation as possible. And we thought that if we were to do it just open like this, it might not have been as rewarding and as inclusive as if you were doing it in small groups and then report back.
Yeah, I have a two-part thing that I want, but it depends. The questions I want to ask will depend on your answer on my next comment. What is the outcome from here?
Good question, excellent question. And I'm going to talk about the Caribbean Human Development Report, and maybe I can give you a little bit about my experience and what I think would be the outcome. But let me say flatly that what we hope is that this report is going to inform policy, it's going to inform decisions. It's going to change the way in which policymakers go about making policies. Because, I mean, particularly, are there anyone here from the OECS? Okay. So you're going to know what I'm talking about.
Really?
Where are you from?
I just looked around and said, did you see anybody else hands up?
Where are you from? Nice.
Yeah, Lucia.
Lucia, she got some courage and put her hands up. So, in the small countries, from my experience, there's not a lot of evidence-based policy making. Policymakers make decisions based on hunches, anecdotal information, how they feel. And so we're hoping that this report is going to change the way policy decisions are made. But also, I think, to enlighten the discussion in terms of where we want to go and how we do things. One of the things that I am really passionate about in the Caribbean is that we do not build to last. And someone mentioned it in the presentation. So, it's just, we know that you're going to have a storm at some point. Why don't we think about better drainage? Why don't we think about a better way of building our roads? Why don't we think about building our buildings better? So there are lots of things that we're hoping that this report would start to stimulate and engage people in
a practical outcome.
Yeah, and it's all tied to the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah, because the reason why I wanted that kind of explanation is because if you had heard me speak here, all of my visions is what I've presented on and how I measure progress. For example, my advocating for debt-free entrepreneurs, for debt-free scientists. So when you graduate from college, you're not saddled with student loans. That is how I measure progress, when you're not saddling a poor student like me who is already disadvantaged by being from a poor family with debt on top of that. So I'm made doubly asset poor. Never mind that I can speak very well the Queen's English, which is another thing. I want to be able to see a Caribbean that breaks away from colonialism. I want a Caribbean that pays attention to the environment around them. I want a Caribbean that can make money out of protecting the environment and re-establishing ecosystem services. Because I'm a youth in the environment, I want to see that particular rare individual like myself who is a youth in the environment become not so rare, not being an extinct species.
Especially male.
Especially male. And I love to hear, I love when the women say, I'm doubly disadvantaged because I'm woman, but then I'm also doubly disadvantaged because I'm a man. And if you had heard me in one of the presentations, when I said a woman told me, it's too bad I don't have a vagina. So when you have you're now pinning the sexes against each other, they lose all respect. And then someone replied to me, "Oh, we don't think that by empowering women we're disempowering men." That was never my point. My point is, we should get to how we measure progress is when we can have mutual respect for each other without looking at each other's gender and then making a comment on it, because we're supposed to be empowering each other without thinking about gender.
But gender is not just about women, and I think a lot of people make
my
that
point
mistake.
exactly.
But I think, let me just say something to you, because I see you young and you're vibrant, and I like that. And you know, the Caribbean cannot be an island or a group of islands. The Caribbean, for the Caribbean to progress, it must participate in the world economy. And I think sometimes we and the politicians feed this to us too. You know, we have to bring the end of colonialism. Well, what are you talking about? I mean, the rules of engagement are set. And if you want progress in this world economy, you have to have something that people want. You have to, and the most important resource of a country is its people. So when you talk about education, yes, I'm 100% there with you, right? But you cannot have a vibrant, successful Caribbean that does not participate in the international economy. No way. You have, the way in which nations get wealthy is through trade, right? One of the ways in which nations get wealthy is through trade. So you have to find a good, and it doesn't have to be a physical good. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Is he selling a physical good? No, right? So I think that what we need to do is to empower youth, empower people. I want to have the Caribbean having the smartest, brightest, more innovative and entrepreneurial individuals in the world. Look at what Singapore did in transforming the economy. A country with little or no resources, right? So I'm there with you with the environment, but you have to be very careful in how you channel your energy. You have good energy, but be reflective and be careful in terms of how you channel your energy. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering why, being a youth development conference, why is it that the questions were not more geared specifically to youth development broad and...
It was. Well, Jimmy, I should let you. The questions were geared towards everybody, but we wanted to get a perspective of youth. And these same questions, some of these same questions are going to be, some of these same questions are going to be asked of youths throughout the Caribbean, and we're going to ask of adults, elderly individuals, all different socioeconomic groups, all different types of characteristics. So we get in the perspective of a broad cross-section of the society. But why we thought it was important to come here to ask these questions is because we can get the type of melting pot effect because we have several people from several different countries here.
I'm not sure if I understood what you just said. So you're interested in the opinion of youth, but when you hear the opinion of youth, you tell them to be more like adults?
No.
That was my point with the colonial.
You said he was too exuberant, too youthful, too vibrant.
I said I like those, but I told him to be careful.
Okay.
To be careful. I mean, we have to tell our youth that. And we have to channel our youth. I mean, we don't want to dampen their enthusiasm. We don't want to tell them where to go, but just to give them some guidance, right? And that's all I was trying to do, to tell them, be reflective on the thing in terms of how the Caribbean participate in the world economy. Everything else, I agree with you. But be careful of how, because that was the mistake that a lot of our leaders made, in terms of thinking that, you can nationalize a company and then, make it profitable. But then you have to sell your resources to the same people from which you took the company. That's not going to happen, right? And if you look at Guyana, that nationalized the bauxite and sugar industry, it's a disaster, right? I wouldn't even talk with Cuba. Cuba's done a lot of things, but
I don't believe in selling my things to just the nation. I believe that each and every individual needs to have their own capacity built so that they can own their own companies.
Own their own resources.
Exactly.
I agree with that. So,
which is why I mentioned colonialism, because everybody seems to be strapping us down with this title of colonialism when we can free ourselves.
So let me say something. It's
when we're having this discussion in Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, Brazil, Bolivia, with people living in poverty, with middle classes, with rich people as well, because we want to know their view as well. We're doing this in El Salvador, Costa Rica, Honduras, Nicaragua, people living, Latin American Caribbeans that are living in the US. We have done this. And then in here, we have been doing this in Haiti, Dominican Republic. We're going to do it in Guyana, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis. So that's like 23 countries, something like that. And we want to hear specifically. We don't want to discuss. At least I don't want to discuss on your view. I want your view, and I want to share it as it is. We can discuss later on how do I see it and how do you see some point. But the thing that is really interesting for us is taking how do you see it, and that's why we are here. I mean, it's because we want to hear you, and we want to take those things and trying to quote you if it's possible in the report, because that's how we think should be the things. If you want to make a better life, you have to listen what people need and then construct from them. Give them those opportunities. So just to be clear, that's our job. That's our job as UNDP. We can discuss later on what is colonialism and how do I understand it and how Warren understands it. That's something that we don't want to do in here. I just want to give you this, that we are here because we wanted those inputs that you just gave us. It was sad coming just for an hour because actually we wanted to be with you, let's say, the whole morning, but this is something that you are discussing on another stuff. And at least we know now that this is something that must be, that was reachful for you and was reachful for us. So we're going to leave us our emails, my email, Warren's email, because maybe one of you want to have a deeper discussion with us, want to give us a better perspective, something else. Maybe wants to give us an in-depth interview, if that's the case. So we want to give you that space. It would be great for us to have those, have your thoughts, have your reality, have your sense, how you feel. And why we did this as something like coming from nothing is because we don't want to share with you what do we as development professionals think is progress. I have my own idea, but I don't want to give you that. I want your idea of progress. We want your idea of progress. And how do you define it? If the term is so industrial, and you think that we did that because we will change the world. That's how we work. So basically, that's the idea behind of this lining mission, let's say. So yes, we're gonna give you our contact details now. I'm gonna write them down, and I don't know if there's
Just a quick point was discussed. Sorry, Alicia Dixon. This point was mentioned in one of the other sessions, so I just wanted to bring it to this forum. When they were speaking about the points of entrepreneurship that war has been thrown around, so many times, but in terms of having it from the basic, from the basic level, from primary to prep level, and throughout the whole educational system, so that it's ingrained in children, when they're young, that their ideas matter. Mark Zuckerberg, he wasn't talking in terms of like having, that Facebook, but look how much jobs it has created, look at the platform, that's being used, and how it's benefiting so many organizations and the entire world. So that is what I would like to see, in schools, and also for it to be supported by the government. Because when you have your own business, then you're being taxed, heavily, and it's not something that's right. It's something that's a challenge for persons, and they get discouraged in terms of having their own business and then having to close, So that's something that I would like to see change.
Warren, what's your email?
Don't you have it?
No.
You were right. It's not benfield@gmail.com. At Gmail. Open the double Benfield. It's the same thing. UNDP.
Yeah, we're gonna do something. We're gonna be doing some videos, personal videos. We're gonna launch this platform. It's morethanIncome.org. ORG, and what we want there is to have videos, personal videos, not that long. I mean, like 30 minutes, 30 seconds, talking about the idea of progress. And that's basically what Nick said. Like, okay, look, this is something like we didn't understand it, and that's useful because we want to have we want to bring the idea not only coming from the academia. Not only from academics, you know, we want we say from people's perspective, and that's what we are doing here. So we're going to make some videos. We're going to share some life stories. We're going to share some open stuff like I don't know how it's called, the pictures, a lot of pictures, and in these things like Instagram and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we're going to start this whole process, the media process, and I'm just if you want to be part of this, just send us an email and we can start doing this with you in your country. So
yeah, I think maybe we want to engage with one. Yeah. I think we can bring it to the end now. Okay, go ahead.
In terms of, you know, we always say we give information, but we're not sure how and when we're going to get it back. What's the process? Are you going to use a similar process to report back to the territories?
Yeah, I think that was what Jimmy was trying to say, right? That all of this is going to feed into a process which is going to be available to everybody in terms of Instagram, a web page. You're going to see stories, you're going to see videos, you're going to see pictures. So all of this is going to be available back to you. Okay?
And you're going to have, let's say, the transcription, the audios coming from the focus groups, and all the stuff that we're doing back in each country in the Caribbean and Latin American countries. So you can conduct your own qualitative research if you want. If you want to do something for your master's degree or whatever, so you have that already. So, but also we want you as your face, you know, you doing your personal stuff. So if you want to share a video or something like that, we can provide you some questions, and then you can video yourself. You can
talk to yourself. Talk about the questions and send us a video.
Yeah, that's something that we're going.
Would anyone be interested in that? Okay, so you can talk to yourself. You can answer the questions, video yourself, and send it to us, or maybe email.
And
yeah.
We also have it. Did everyone sign in and give out current email address?
Yeah.
Okay, because what
just
we can
with your
also
phone.
do,
You don't need fancy stuff.
when our office gets updates,
And they can use the same questions. Yeah, you can use these same questions. You can use these same questions. You can do a 5-minute video, 3-minute video, and you send it to us. Will be perfect.
And we're gonna send you a disclaimer, so we're gonna use your video.
Right. And if there's any one person here who would like to have any further dialogue with us, we're happy to entertain you.
I have one question.
That's the Caribbean way of saying it, right?
In this room, I'm wondering what percentage of us is able to represent the true populace of the youth in our country, which would not give a true reflection. What I would ask, what you just asked about the video, and also the statements that we had to work on, why not introduce that in the school system? You can always get the contact information through the Ministry of Education for the schools. And
and try to contact the youths directly. So I'm sure you'll get videos beyond videos, experiences beyond experiences, because just asking a few of us is not a true reflection of what our youth really need. I mean, and they are the ones that we would speak to directly. Everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has YouTube. And the information is there. Contact the Ministry of Education. I have a listing of all the schools in the Western region. By just calling the Ministry of Education. Through my organization.
Yeah, that's exactly what
That's a section, right? So, and in each region, they have a listing of the schools. So that's the medium that I think forum organizations like yourself should use, and not just a small percentage of who is in this room.
You're making a very good point. And this is just one aspect of what we're doing of a larger study. So we have consultants working in the field, reaching out to agencies, stakeholders, and bringing youth together.
Again, what you're saying is using agencies, but what about the youth directly? They know. The area that we're able to
the way in which we define youth, I think, is less than 30.
And that is where we're wrong. We're using the numbers that we're using for youth is, to me, it's a late stage. We should catch children at least 1 year, which is from, say, when they're being integrated in the school system. Because the homes, some of the homes are not very
Remember, youth is defined, I think, from 15, right?
I am saying that is wrong, because they would have been molded in their ways at 15. How can we change the tree or the direction of the tree when it's molded already? We need to start talking to children as young as 2 or 3, because you have a 2-year-old who can manipulate the phone.
Let's do the following. What you're saying is exactly what we need, this trigger, and what we need, because we don't have, let's say, we don't have enough resources in the ground. So, but we can have some what people call this theory of change. So, gathering more people, you can have larger conversations. So, basically, what we want here is, if you have those resources, if you can tell us, like, okay, Jimmy, I know that we can have 200 videos in here. You just have to talk with these people, and you can give us that. You can help us with that. That's what we need, because otherwise we're gonna last. We're gonna be only with what is manageable for us, what is at our reach, and somehow it's not always as we would like to have. You know what I mean? So what we want now is leave it to you our contact, so you can give us those ideas. Let us know with whom we can talk with, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna start this process. This is the very beginning of this process.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments?
Just one last comment. I agree with her to an extent, but let's not forget those older youths who have a different experience and they're at a different end of the game. The 30 to 35 category is forgotten as well. The 26 to 30 year category is forgotten as well. So is the sponge years, they are forgotten as well. So we need to kind of just try and grab the subsections.
Just to add that, in order for you to get assistance with this as well, the Ministry of Youth and Culture will also assist in this area, because we focus on youth between 15 and 29. I know the UN has the definition for youth, which is 15 to 24. And so I'm not sure if you'll be going outside of that border. But the ministry can assist, because we have access to the youth that are out there within that age range. And you have my contact.
So okay. Okay, many thanks for your time.